Hey guys, this is What If Akira from Zom 100 was, well, a mutant. Now, guys, this is more of a newer What If. I haven't done a What If on Zom 100, and I never thought I would, but to a point where I've enjoyed the anime so much. I enjoy the anime a lot, so I'm going to be making a few What Ifs based off the story and changing the plot of the story a little bit. Maybe Akira's, I'm probably going to switch between either of those pronunciations and basically just be doing all that. So, yeah, just diving right into this fanfiction. Now, we start our story off with, well, Akira's backstory. As Akira would have told everybody what his life was for the past 3 years. Him working for this very abusive organization, or basically, well, department. As he would have been walking around the company and basically being settled into everywhere. And the first day of work would have been pretty good. Would have been pretty okay and would have gone by pretty quickly. Him meeting up with one of the secretaries and would have seen her as very beautiful, fallen in love at first glance, as he would have just quickly helped her up with her papers as she would have fell over or bumped into him. As Akira would have started to talk to her, as she would have told her her name, as she would have said, "Are you alright?" and he said yes. They would have started to talk a little bit, as Akira in this continuity would have been a little bit more talkative, but him being not shut down, but more or less her telling him that he needs to go and that she needs to go and do some work. And basically she says, "Have good luck on your first date. Bye." As Akira would have been kind of shocked, but honestly, well, saying to himself that she's really cute, as he would have found her really attractive. After that, they would have gone to a nearby tavern or bar, as they would have started to just drink and talk, as they would have had a blast. Eventually, Akira would have said, "This is awesome," and basically about to say goodbye to everybody, but him being told that they ain't done. They're not done yet. Get your booty up. We're going right back to work. And Akira was completely in pure shock. So everybody was totally get back up, as they would have gone back to the company, as they would have pulled an all-nighter. He would have done double work, pulled an all-nighter, and he would have slept over at his job. I'll be frank with you guys. I'm not sleeping at my job. I don't keep it a bug. I don't care. I'm sorry. I'm not sleeping at my job. I do not trust people to be around me. People, randoms, especially on my first day at work, to be around me while I sleep. I don't know you, and you don't know me. If someone could be farting in their sleep. Someone can be snoring outrageously. Someone can go as far as to sleepwalk. I'm not finna sleep next to all these randos. I'm gonna have to know you on a personal level. I gotta know all your family members for me to sleep in the same room as you, without a closed door. I'm sorry. I don't trust you, my mans. I don't trust you, bro. I need to know everything about you. Your social security number, your phone number. I'm gonna know your address. I'm gonna need to know all the numbers to your bank account. Bro, I do not trust you. Eventually, he is able to go back to, home, and Akira is completely befuddled. Next couple days, next couple months, next couple years, it's just been pain after pain after pain. And 2 years later, it's just more pain, as he's just pushed down again and again and again. Eventually, him figuring out that the secretary lady is, well, let's just say getting used by one of his, superiors. He's being used by one of his superiors, as she basically goes to do something very not so family friendly, as Akira understands this from afar, understands this completely, as I completely just watch this from afar, not watch this from afar, but he sees the shadow through the window, as Akira is just completely, what the hell's going on? Akira just tries to clear his mind on it though. So the next couple years, he's been put through hell and back, and he's miserable at this point in his life. But things start to go different. Things start to change. Things start to happen. As what would happen is Akira would have been walking home as he would have felt something strange in his body. As he would have looked down at his hands, as he would have seen that it was glowing. Him just thinking he's incredibly tired and he's probably just daydreaming or thinking of something. As he would have looked upwards, as he would have seen a burst of light in the sky, as he would have been taught something, or not taught, but he would have heard a voice in his head. An old man would have told him that he's special and that he needs to find Xavier's house. As he would have been confused, as Akira would just try to calm himself down, him being so out of it at this point, so sleepy and so miserable and so drained of life, as he would have been walking zombie-like to his house. As eventually we would see Akira's hands start to glow brighter and brighter. Eventually small objects around him would have started to lift up off the ground like telekinesis, then being enveloped in some sort of light. As everybody around him would have seen him as some sort of weirdo, as they would have seen weirder things happen, as things would have started to catch on fire around him, things starting to crush and crumble around him, and so as far as people almost saying that he's floating. As eventually Akira would have been able to get back home, as he would have passed out immediately. Him waking up the next day, as he would have seen that he would have gone back home, or gone back to work, him being hit again with more work and more work. Eventually Akira coming back home later that night again, but this morning would have changed. Akira waking up as he would have opened the door, getting ready for another grueling day of work, as he would have looked upwards, as he would have seen a man being eaten, as he would have started to run around, seeing all these zombies, and basically saying, "What the hell's going on?" As eventually he would have said, "Wait, this mean? I don't have to go to work today?" As he would have started to yell out in pure joy, him crying and him being filled with straight laughter and joy, as he would have been running from these zombies, fast and furious. Eventually, Akira would have realized that he couldn't really get away from these guys, as he had to start moving faster. Eventually, him getting to the roof area, as he would have been safe from the zombies being separated by a gate. As Akira would have been completely happy at this fact that I don't need to go to work. It's the first time in years I've been able to be alone myself. First time in years I've been able to be me, to have a day off. As he would have grabbed on his bike, as he would have started to run around the city, basically going around and running and driving. And him going crazy around the city. Eventually him coming across the city, looking at all these burning buildings, all the chaos and all the havoc that's going around. Eventually, Akira being completely just filled with joy and happiness. Eventually him getting back to his hotel, as he would have been able to come across the other woman's hotel. As he would have came to her hotel trying to figure out and try to catch up on her, as he would have been able to take down the, superior, as he would have able to basically just body slam that boy, super slammo style. Eventually him looking upwards, as he would have seen the lady. As he would try to talk to her, but him seeing her and seeing that she's turned. As he would have talked to her, trying to give off his emotions and tell her how he really feels, as he would have eventually left. Him running out of the building, but before he ran out the building, something interesting would have happened. His hands would have started to tremble and shake. Eventually him looking behind him, as the lady would have started to run after him, as he would have started to have a headache, as he would have tripped, as he would have been on the ground in throbbing pain. Eventually women getting on top of him, about to bite him, as out of nowhere a big shock of light would have blasted off of his body, burning majority of Akira's clothes, as it would have almost collapsed the whole building, making a huge burst of light and sound, making a lot of zombies gather around them. As he would have looked around, as he would have seen the woman's body completely disintegrated into pure and utter nothingness. Not even bones would have been left behind. Only those, shadow marks that would have been left behind after, nukes and stuff like that. As he would have looked around, being confused on what the hell just happened, and why does he feel relieved, as his eyes would have been glowing bright type of, a rainbow type color, as eventually it would have died down. Him limping away, as he would have been able to grab a pair of sweatpants inside the building or inside the room, as they would have been that badly, charred or burnt enough to cover up his bits. And so basically he would have started to run around. Eventually him finding his way back to his house, eventually him grabbing a notebook and trying to figure out what's going on with him, but also him making a bucket list of things he wants to do before he becomes a zombie. So that's where I'm going to leave it off here, guys. Episode 1, Zon 100 in season 1. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Who has liked and subscribed. And yeah, guys, in part 2 will be more about Akira trying to figure out what the hell's going on with him. Also, I will introduce a little bit more X-Men like characters, and also a lot more type of mutants in the story. Maybe Akira's friend might become a mutant if you guys want me to do that. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Because like and subscribe. As always, guys, have a blessed day. Deuces.